Yo, this your boy Mark Savage, man. You tuned in to Dusty Vision TV, man. Every time I'm locked in, we turning all the way up.
Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat.
Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and please tell a friend about my program. Looking forward to chatting with this brother again. He's been on my show. He was on my show maybe about 4 or 5 months ago, kind of mid-pandemic. Really looking forward to catching up with him and, not only talking a little bit of hip-hop, a little bit more of his background, but also diving a little bit deeper into some of his business ventures that he's part of, because I think that could really help out a lot of us out there. Ladies and gentlemen, on the line, I have Mark Savage. What up, dude?
Yo, what's good with it? What's up, family?
Man, I'm good, homeboy. Thanks again for joining the program, Playboy.
Man, I'm always come through, man. I got you.
What turned on in your brain to where you like, man, you know what? Let me step out of the streets and find a different route.
Man, that I don't think me and you got to discuss this last time we talked, but man, I messed around and got involved in a murder when I was 16, man.
Oh wow.
And my peoples put up their house, and I had to, we went through a lot of mess to get me out there paying for lawyer fees and, get me out that situation. And I kept it solid and didn't do the ratting thing and telling on, the situation and telling on nobody else. I stayed quiet, and I just told my people, like, look, this is the route I want to take. I don't want to talk, but I do want a lawyer to come in and, review this case for me and show them that I was in the right in the situation. I just wasn't supposed to have no gun at 16, but I was in the right for what the situation was. And, that happened, man. And I seen, like, in that process of going through it, of course they tarnish your name in the media. CMS student, kills another CMS student, and you go through that whole, debacle of them just, diminishing your name. You see people that you thought was cool and fuck with you. You see them tarnish your name on Facebook. We didn't have Instagram and stuff back then, but you see them at the time Facebook just started. So you see people tarnish your name, and then, it was a lot of bullshit. I'm like, damn, these are the same people in my face because they knew I could hoop. Or these are the same people in my face when they thought that shit was cool, and they said this crip shit was cool and this gang shit was cool. They give me props for this gangbang shit, but then I do some real shit that they say is real, and everybody was down to me. Oh, he shouldn't have done that. He took it too far. He was scared to fight and all that. When I seen that, man, that made me back up. I was like, man, this shit ain't really what it's supposed to be. So I stopped giving a fuck. I said, I'm going to do what they call the square shit. So
yeah, that's good, man. And the messed up part is if you would have went to prison or jail or whatever the case is, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have got many visitors, if any. You would have been on your own, dog.
Exactly. Because a lot of them, they, and know nothing against them, because some of them we still cool to this day, and they'll see this interview and they know I'm telling the truth. Some to this day they still, they was nowhere to be found. They looked at it like, oh, bro, we don't want to get in the mix of that because they were scared of the RICO charges, or they might try to say, it's gang related and stuff, bro. We might get in the mix, bro. So don't call us, don't hit us up. We ain't gonna hit you up. So they played that role, and I was like, wow, okay, I got you. But I knew what the real reason was. They figured I was gonna tell. He gonna tell. He trying to get out of it. So, and they seen I did, and it was like, oh dang. And I was like, that just shows me what y'all thought about me the whole time, So,
damn. How did you get out of that situation? Legally?
Lawyers. Luckily, my dad married a lawyer. So he was my stepmother. She was a lawyer, and she had connects. She went through the whole lawyer process. Lawyers know lawyers. She knew who to get me to. And then they hooked that whole situation up, man. So I ended up, being able to get blessed through that situation. They was able to go through, and the lawyer was able to provide a bunch of documentations on my behalf, showing that I was the one being come. He was coming at me on the social media, doing what everybody do now. He was doing that back then on MySpace, posting the gun,
the threatening shit.
Doing all that, tagging my name with the K behind it and stuff like that. They knew what it was. And then when he came to the scene, what made it worse was when he got killed at the scene, he had a trash bag on a gun. So it looked like he was coming to do that. So they was like, oh yeah, he was planning this out. He had it planned out. So the whole situation worked in my favor, just for the simple fact that, he was the aggressor. The only thing I got fucked up on was I was 16. I wasn't supposed to have no gun. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Man, I'm glad you made it out of that.
Yes, sir.
Damn, dog.
So, blessing.
Yeah, homie, yeah. So I'm assuming your most, because you last time we talked, you said you got put on around the age 11. So your most active years was probably around 11 to around 16ish.
Yeah, 16. After 16, I seen that whole situation transpire like that. I was done.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, I'm good. And I started fucking with, the people I fuck with now in LA. And then, I started seeing how it really was supposed to be, how it really go. And I was like, see, we was doing it wrong the whole time. So I'm glad I kind of got away from it because they wasn't doing it right. And the people swore they put me on the right way. They didn't. And they didn't know what the fuck they was doing, So I'm just glad I kind of tapped in with some real ones, and they really put me on game what it's really about. And then by this time, they like, man, do your shit, bro. Like, we support you, bro. You from the hood, but just do your shit. Yo, this your boy Mark Savage, man. You tuned in to Dusty Vision TV, man. Every time I'm locked in, we turning all the way up.
Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit.
A lot of crazy shit's been happening in music, man. I would love to, catch up on, just a few things that happened since we last connected. Last time we talked about the FBG Ducks, we talked about the Pop Smoke, RIP. We talked about Tekashi 6ix9ine. I would say probably the biggest one since we last connected was the killing of King Von. Now, for my audience out there who don't know, King Von was one of the up-and-coming drill rappers from Chicago. He had everything, the look, the flow. He was next up, period. He got involved with a conflict in Atlanta outside of a hookah bar late at night with Quando Rondo, who's another rapper, and it turned deadly within seconds. My question for you, Mark Savage, is the dude who killed King Von, name is Lil Timmy. In your opinion, and I guess you would have to take yourself back to that lifestyle, but in your opinion, did Lil Timmy do what he was supposed to do in that situation?
Lil Timmy, in my opinion, yes, he did. I tell people that all the time. People hate hearing it because they like, oh man, no man, King Von though, bro, King Von. But I'm like, think about it. If it was vice versa, how many people would have been glorifying King Von for killing Quando Rondo because that's the type of image and that's what everybody expects from him. So everybody would have been glorifying King Von for it, but because it was King Von getting killed and Quando Rondo was the one that, kind of stayed and, his boy saved him and stuff like that. I mean, he did what he was supposed to do, man. He protected the prize, man. Quando Rondo, his prize. That's his bread and butter right now. Like, so if something happened to Quando Rondo, he ass out and he know that. He like, nah, that ain't happening. So he did what he was supposed to do. I would want somebody around me doing that. Like anybody, if you with me and I'm somewhere and somebody get the ups on me like that, because King Von was beating the shit out of Quando Rondo. Somebody beating the shit out of me, I want somebody to come and kill that motherfucker. Like, I'm just being real. Like, don't let me get beat the fuck up and then you see that he had the ups on me. And 9 times out of 10, the way Quando Rondo's supposed to be from the hood, he's supposed to be from 60. Mm-hmm. So it's like your career over with after that. Like, it's done. Like, you done got whooped by King Von and then you popped all this shit on social media and on music. You supposed to be from the hood. You supposed to be this. Fans gonna kill you on the internet. So he was done if somebody didn't kill King Von. So I mean, to me, he did what he was supposed to do. So,
as a civilian myself, who's never gangbanged, never wanted to gangbang, never been part of a gang, if I were in a state that permitted me to carry a weapon legally, and me and my boy are walking outside of a hookah lounge, and some dude just starts pummeling on him, and I turn around and I see 20 or 30 of his homeboys rushing the scene, as a civilian, as a law-abiding, legally carrying civilian, I would have to do the same thing. Yeah,
you would have to. I think on both sides of that, from a, like you say, from a gangbanger perspective and from a, a civilian perspective, because, like you said, I'm in that lifestyle now, and I got my, carry conceal, I can carry it. So and from what from the law I've read, is if a fighting is consensual. So if I don't agree to fight you and you ran up and punched me and I have to defend myself and I got my weapon, by law I can kill you for that. I didn't consent to fight. Fighting is consensual. We want to talk about the law. So if you I told you no, I don't want to fight. You ran up and punched me anyway and I killed you, I defended myself. Now they say you're supposed to get a warning shot and all that shit. I learned, but if he whoop your ass and you had to shoot him to get him off of you, trust me, you gonna win that one. You gonna go to jail. You gotta sign in and do all that shit, but you bail it out. You take your ass to criminal court, civil court, get it over with. and go on about your business, you know. So
yeah, that's what it seems like it's gonna happen. Lil Timmy is gonna get off on self-defense, I think, and
oh yeah,
it's one of those situations where, man, these guys gotta these split-second decisions, man. If King Von would have kept his ass in the car, he'd probably be alive right now. But he's like, he wants to go fuck up his op, and it's 3 a.m. Nothing good happens at 3 a.m, man. I mean, I wish people would make better decisions, man.
Yeah, man. I hate that happen to him though, man.
Yeah.
But like but I know he would expect it because I heard it in his music, man. Like you said, like, hey, if I die today, my op's gonna slide every day. He said it in his music, so
yeah, man.
You know.
Yeah, man. Shit, this whole dissing thing. We talked about the Chicago dissing last time. You know, the whole smoking on such and such pack. I'm smoking on this pack, smoking on that pack. We kind of touched on that briefly, but it seems like the disrespect has turned up a notch, man, just even in the past 6 months. But I'm not sure if you've seen this picture a couple months back, maybe a month or so ago, of this rapper by the name of Nick Blixie. He's a rapper. He decided to stand on top of his enemy's grave, and he sprayed GDK on the actual...
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on that, man? I mean...
bogus. I don't agree with it. I told you that last time. I don't agree with this instead, man. That shit is bogus, man. Like I say, to each his own, you know, however you want to, you know, press your line, press it, man. But that's bogus, man. I ain't nobody dissing no dead homies. You know what I mean? And that's, even if that was my worst enemy, that man dead, I ain't got nothing else to say about him. Like, I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'm just living for my life at this point and me and mine. So it's like, hey, I'm not gonna be going to nobody's grave and fuck no, man. You playing with death, man. Nah.
Yeah, man. That's just bad karma all around, homie. Just all around. Like that can't be good, man. You know what I'm saying? Something bad's gonna happen out of that. So yeah, that was a crazy situation, man. Some more disrespect, unfortunately, that happened since we last talked was someone vandalized Nipsey Hussle's Marathon store.
Yeah.
Do you think that was the streets, an enemy? Do you think that was the cops? Like, if you had to, you know, just put a guess on it, who would you say would do something that stupid?
Yeah, I would say the streets. It's definitely the streets because that ain't the first time they've done it. You know, Nipsey's the wall memorial that he has in the neighborhood, it's been vandalized, and you know, we had to get them repainted and stuff like that. And you know, of course, I talked to a couple people telling me, you know, certain circumstances, certain people, you know, streets gonna talk who do what, who do this, but you know, and then you know, it's a lot of internal stuff that goes on with that too. So you know, it's definitely the streets. I'm not gonna put that on the police because I know better. You know, I know that sounds like the ideal thing to say, just like they said, oh, the government killed Nipsey. It sounds good, but let's just be real. Now the streets doing that.
I'm at a crossroads every damn day, looking back at my past when I sleep. But living on the edge, not doing enough. Iniquity down to my feet. What do I do when I need a little food and I gotta get the money for the rent? Fall on my knees, pray to the Lord, come my son, he can give me some money, repent. What, thank you. I really love you, baby, so I spank you. Life is a west straight fucking you up. Living in a prison, I'ma shank you. So what's love got to do with it? With my heart on my sleeve, I'm a foe. But she said she loved me, she wanted to hug me under my sheets, so it's get told.
And I spy with my little mind's eye, dreams that are beyond what you can see in daylight. Baby, ignore the rain, and everything gon' be okay. And while the world burns, I'll be near the skyline, and I'll be biding my time till I can ride the wave. Then everything gon' be okay. Yeah.
Yo, this your boy Mark Savage, man. You tuned in to Dusty Vision TV, man. Every time I'm locked in, you know we turning all the way up.
Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace.
Did you hear about this IG SoundCloud rapper named Blocckboy?
Yeah, he got killed. Yeah, he was disrespectful.
Yeah, he was. Let me explain, everyone, to who's not hip to the story. Lakewood is I grew up in Long Beach, so Lakewood, I know Lakewood like the back of my hand, which is right next to Long Beach. This guy named Blocckboy, he was a IG dude, SoundCloud rapper. He was a turned up version of Tekashi 6ix9ine. He went to different neighborhoods. He went to Hoover's and hopped out of his car for 10, 15 seconds, recorded him, disrespecting, spitting on their graffiti, kicking their signs, whatever. He went to the 60s. He went to Nickerson. PJ. He went to all the hoods in LA, and I was following this dude because it's a train wreck. Let's keep it real. Like when we pass a car wreck on the freeway, what do? We turn our head. So I knew this was a car crash waiting to happen, and not even a month after me hitting the follow button on his Instagram, this dude was found dead in Lakewood, man. You heard about the story. Talk to me about, your whole thoughts on that situation.
Yeah, I heard about the story, and then of course, like I follow LA hood virals, and there's a couple more pages that kind of shared the details on it. But yeah, I seen it. I seen him post. I heard about him getting found in his car and stuff, man. And I just think, honestly, man, it was people plotting on him because just like Pop Smoke, you got people watching your social media. You got females watching your social media, and probably just was a case of him just getting caught at the wrong place, wrong time. Somebody saw him, made a phone call, and they was on his ass. Like, this is what he driving, because he got killed in the car. So it's like they obviously seen what car you was in, saw you in the car, and then they identified you, and boom, it's over, just like that. So,
yeah, interesting dude, man. And sadly, there's going to be a lot of other people, and there are people out there with other similar channels that do similar things. I'm not going to name any names to give them any props or anything like that, because I don't want to condone that, because it's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's unfortunately probably going to be a lot of people who follow in those footsteps. And the crazy part to me, man, is how they're making the job for the cops and the feds, they're making it so much easier for them, right? They don't even have to. Cops don't even have to go outside and do footwork anymore, man. They just sit their feet up on their desk and go through Instagram and add a bunch of people and just see what's cracking.
That's it. That's all they gotta do. Like, we gotta, like, he's not from '60s, but it's a cat in LA that just passed away. Lil Spy, rest in peace, Lil Spy. He just passed away today. And he was murdered, and of course the hood talking about it, a couple more people talking about it, but but just off of the sense of that, like you said, with a bunch of people they follow, they can see this person got killed. So the police in the back of their mind, they can say, okay, I see all these members posting this guy got killed, so we wonder who killed him. So let's do some research. Let's see if any of the enemies that we already know who the enemies are. Yep. So let's look at their page and see if any of them going to post so-and-so that died today, so-and-so and so we can put two and two together and figure it out. Like, that's all you got to do. That's all they doing.
Exactly. And they call someone else snitches. Like, your dog, you are snitching on yourself, homie. What trips me out too, Mark, is when I see this on IG all the time. I just follow random people, you know what I'm saying, who follow me or whatever the case. I see this all the time. Who got them perk 30s? Who got them lines? Tag your plug. And you will look in the comments, dog, and motherfuckers are adding the motherfucking plug right there on Instagram.
I'm telling you, man, this shit is nuts to me. That's why I'll be like, nah, I'm just gonna promote this financial literacy in this business, man. I'm gonna leave that where it's at.
Thank you, homeboy. I appreciate that, dog. Yeah, man. Let's keep it moving, man, because there's a lot of stuff that I want to try to cover with you. This story specifically as well, because in it, I want to hear your opinion even more now that you told me that you went through the situation when you were 16. There's this Philly rapper named Pop Hunter who got a lot of backlash and is pretty much getting blackballed by the industry for paperwork of him cooperating with the law when he was 13 years old. His friend was killed in front of him. Him and his mom were walking down the street. Friend killed in front of him, blah, blah, blah. He tells what happens. He talks to the police at 13. This guy is like probably your age now, 21, 22, 23, whatever. Do you think someone should be held to the same standards in the street life at 13 as you are at 23? Should they be holding him to this?
So in my opinion, from what I was told about the situation, he wasn't, out there like that. Is that true? Like, he wasn't involved in the streets at 13?
Yeah, from what I understand, he wasn't involved in the streets.
Yeah. and I'm not holding nobody that's not involved in the street accountable to that. He wasn't gang banging. He wasn't selling drugs. He wasn't doing no criminal activity. He was a regular little boy that was with his mom, and his older brother got killed in front of him, and him and his mom went down there and cooperated with the police and got that person locked up. I do not fault him for that, because those rules are only obligated by people that participate. He wasn't participating in the streets at 13. Now, what he did after that, if the killing of his brother made him feel like, man, fuck this shit, I'm turning up, fuck it, I'm gang banging, I'm doing this, fuck this, y'all killed my brother, that's different. You know, from that point forward, when he jumped out there off that porch and he said, fuck this shit, I'm in here, then yes, he's held accountable at that point. But 13, you know, with your mama, your brother, you ain't in the streets, you in school, you ain't nowhere near affiliated with the streets. Hell no, man. He did what he was supposed to do, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you explained that, man, because a lot of people think that civilians are snitches if they're telling. Look, like a civilian, I did my dirt 25 years ago, but I have not with the streets in since then. But if I see someone across the street robbing my neighbor's house, I'm calling the fucking police, dog, because I want to live in a safe neighborhood. I'm just keeping it real. Yeah, and that's your obligation. That is your obligation. Like I said, I don't. If I stay next door to you, or no, if I didn't, if you stay next door to somebody and I robbed your house and you called the police on me and I was the one who got arrested, I'm not looking at you like, man, that nigga, man, he told on me, man, fuck him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he might have told on me, but that doesn't mean he didn't snitch. He did what he was supposed to do. Yeah. Like, I mean, he ain't nowhere, nobody's street nigga. Your father, he got his kids over there. Guess what? In my opinion, that's how I look at it. Now, maybe this is the older me and the more wiser me, but I look at it like this. Okay, you don't call the police because you thinking, oh, no, man, I'm going to stick to the code. Even though I'm not in the streets, I'm going to stick to the code. You might not telling me robbing your neighbor. What if I come rob your house next? Mm-hmm. Yep. You know? Because I'm like, well, shit, last time I robbed this house, ain't nothing happened. Shit, I'm going next door now. Mm-hmm. I robbed your house, then what? Now you want to call him because I done robbed you. Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, this is why a lot of my interviews I do with people there in their 40s and above, 50s. I rarely interview cats in their 20s like Mark Savage, but you're an old soul, man. That's why I like, chatting with you, and you're an intelligent dude. Like, I think I've only had one other cat that's been your age that's been on my show, so I appreciate you definitely just sharing an intelligent point of view from a guy in his 20s, because unfortunately we're not seeing a lot of that out there now, man.
Yo, this your boy Mark Savage, man. You tuned in to Dusty Vision TV, man. Every time I'm locked in, we turning all the way up.
Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food.
Have you been paying attention to this Charleston White guy?
I had Charleston White on my show before anybody knew who Charleston White is. I had his ass on my show. Yeah, right after you did that whole Dallas. They were calling him a snitch and everything. I brought him on about a year ago. Yes. His name is popping up. I have noticed that, actually. Yeah, he's a very interesting dude. So here's the deal. He wanted to do business with me, actually, and I just couldn't because he's too. And tell me, I would love to hear your advice on him, because I know you have an opinion on him, just like I and a lot of other people do. But I had to tell him, no, dog, you're a little too much, homie. You're a little too much. I ain't trying to have my house getting burned down, dog.
yeah. Charleston is I definitely don't. I think you made the right decision on that. Far as business, but far as like him and what he stands for, what he speaks on, man, I really fuck with it. Okay, like I fuck with it because he actually, like, one thing I do like, and with me being an artist myself and rapping myself, one thing I do respect that he said. He speaks about rap ruining the culture and how a lot of these rappers really misguide the youth. And like I said, when that shit happened with me at 16, I started realizing that early. Like, I really, I'm 20, I'll be 28 in February. So I realized that, we talking over a decade ago, I realized all this stuff he's saying now. I'm like, man, I've been seeing that. Like, man, these dudes will preach that shit to you, and then they only preaching it to you for their own personal satisfaction, man. Like, half these dudes don't really give a fuck about you. And if it's 50 in a set, you might find 2 that really care about you out that whole set. You know what I mean? So
yep, that's exactly what he said on my show. When you get a chance tonight, if you get a chance, just YouTube Dusty Vision, Charleston White, and I have a 48-minute interview with him, and I brought him on my show because I do agree with a lot of the stuff that he says. A lot. There were like two things where a couple things where I'm like, you're a little out there, bring it back down a little bit. But a lot of the stuff I did agree with, and I hate to say it, but I wish more people of color weren't afraid to talk like that, without being fears of being called Uncle Toms and house niggas and this and that. It's weird because people expect all black people to think alike. Like we're the only race where they expect you to think black. Like I'm like, why? Like, I don't say that about white people. Like I don't expect all white people to think alike. I don't expect all Mexicans to think alike. But I guess because I'm black, like I'm supposed to, think we're all supposed to be. And my grandma once told me the easiest way to control a group is if they all think alike.
Exactly. And that's something grandma told me. She told me the same shit. And that's exactly what we do as people. We all think alike, and that's the part where they kill us every time. Yeah.
So yeah, man. That's why I like having brothers like you on this. Who do real estate, like I said, and actually graduated not just with a associates, not just with a bachelor's, but with a master's degree, dog. We need more people like you in our hoods, and that's why I get really sad. I legit get sad when I hear about 11-year-olds dying in the street by a stray bullet, 13-year-olds dying. I'm like, because they could have grown up to be a Mark Savage.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Then we gotta have more you. We gotta have more you that's putting people like me in platforms to speak and be heard. You know what I mean? Because then think about it, like you said, you had Charleston White before he is who he is. Because Charleston White, he a household name now. Yep. Out of nowhere. I think Say Cheese is what done it, but yeah, like he booming now. So you had him before.
Yeah,
so
yeah. I might have to rethink that business thing. Nah, I'm just playing, man. I ain't fucking with that dude. He's a cool cat, but I'm not fucking with that. Nah, it ain't happening on me. I don't have those kind of balls, man. But shit, let's move on, man. Speaking of telling, we were talking about telling and things like that. I would love your opinion on this. Since we last got together, Casanova 2 times was arrested by the feds. I'm sure you heard the story. For anyone who doesn't know the story, my people out there, New York rapper. He had one big hit. It was a dope ass song with it, but he got caught for a lot of shit. One of the things was he was apparently, him and his gang were involved in things like murder, drug trafficking, fraud, stuff like that. But the portion that I want your opinion on, and this is why I personally, Mark, why I only interview people who have been out of the life for a decade, 20 years, 30 years, is because I don't want to be called a DJ Vlad. You know what I'm saying? Like interviewing those guys who did their crime 3 weeks ago and they're on my show right now and talking about it. I don't want the cops to come and subpoena me and shit and be like, well, we need episode Mark Savage, the one where he talked about, like, I don't want none of that. So that's why when I came into this, I went into it like that, because I see these people on Vlad TV literally an AR ab and like these dudes just literally telling what they're doing. I'm like, what are you doing? But my question for you is, who is more at fault, or are they equally at fault? Who's more at fault? The artist that's giving up this information voluntarily, or Vlad TV, who are asking certain questions that can put people in predicaments?
Honestly, I'm gonna keep it a bug, man. It's on Casanova, man. It's on Casanova. I can't even put that on Vlad, because Vlad doing what I seen CRlP posting, where he questioned Vlad when they did the interview, and he was calling Vlad, a rat, and he was saying, yo, you bait rappers, because a lot of rappers not, and that was true. What CRlP said was true. Like, you bait rappers into saying certain things because they're going to say it. He was like, some rappers aren't smart enough to catch it like me. He said, I'm not going to be the dummy. You know what I mean? And that was facts, because everything he said was absolutely true. Yeah, Vlad does bait. He baits and sees what you're going to bite on, and when you bite on it, it creates that content, and he's doing what he's supposed to do. Casanova speaks on murder. He knows that's clickbait. Oh, yeah, people going to click on that all day. What murder he talking about? Yeah. Well, Casanova talks about his prison sentence he last did. Oh, that's clickbait, and that's the YouTube game. He doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's an interviewer. He's a blogger. He's doing what he's supposed to do, but Casanova, he got to be he should have been a little bit more on his toes to be like, man, you know what? This is something I think I can get bitten ass on. I'm just going to shut up, So.
And here's the trippy part that you probably may or may not know about is they were saying that most of the evidence that they gathered on Casanova was coming from his Instagram DMs, dog. These guys think that just because they delete a DM that it's gone forever. There's something out there called the cloud, ladies and gentlemen. Just because you delete an Instagram DM of you saying, hey, I got 5 pounds of such and such, meet me here, and you delete that, dude, the cops can subpoena, the feds could subpoena Instagram and take over your Instagram account and get all of that info.
Facts.
So be very careful what you say out there. I 100% agree with you on that, man. I got to put the onus, I got to put the blame on the people who go on Vlad, man. You can't talk about what you do, you know what I'm saying? And it's Vlad's job to do what he does, like you said, man. So
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they're saying they're using like people like Adam 22. Like they're saying they're using a bunch of interviews against this guy, or again, you know, for this case. So if I do have any suggestions out there for anybody out there, it's just shut the fuck up. You could literally shut the fuck up. Like if someone asked me a question I didn't want to answer, I just won't answer it. And there's no baiting. There's no baiting in the world that can get me to say something that I don't want to say or that I don't think I should say.
Exactly. Yo, this your boy Mark Savage, man. You tuned in to Dusty Vision TV, man. Every time I'm locked in, you know we turning all the way up.
Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace, steady job and some food to eat. Just give me a little bit of peace.
Let me ask you, because rappers are getting it just from everywhere. I mean, it seems... Are rappers easy food right now? I mean, rappers are getting robbed left and right, popped left and right. I mean, talk to me. Easy food, right?
Oh yeah, man, easy food, man, easy. But that's why you see, like with me, I say it all the time. Like I've been doing a lot of different things and been on a lot of different platforms. I tell them all the time, I don't plan on rapping. Like rapping was something that I felt like it was a way to get therapeutic. It was therapeutic for me. It was a way for me to get words out, get a lot of shit off my chest. Because of course, going to shrinks and stuff like that wasn't the norm. It started to become norm, which I definitely appreciate. But that's just now happened. It wasn't a norm back when I was a teenager and coming up in my early 20s. Like that wasn't a thing. So rapping was something that kind of I developed therapeutically. But rap, man, it's definitely something that like I can as further I get deep into this shit and I start to see the more what's going on with rappers. This shit is all like. It's food, man. Whether people trying to hit you with an Adrian Broner and say, "Oh, he hit me," and you get sued, or you pull a Kevin Gates and hit a fan, or you pull a the baby and push somebody because they did something you didn't like, or fuck that.
Tupac and they say you raped her, or some shit like that.
Exactly. Yeah, like you food from different areas, whether it's women, whether it's your homeboys, whether it's your neighborhood, whether it's the jury, man. It's just like left and right. You can't trust no damn body. Like it's like damn, so. Yeah, man.
And then to top it all off, let's keep it real. The money is not that great if you are just a rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You've already tasted that real estate money, so it'd be like going a step back money wise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is, and that's another reason I've been telling people like, man, y'all gonna get this EP that's coming out this year, and then y'all gonna get a couple visuals off that. Y'all gonna drop an album, and I'm gone. Like I might come back and manage an artist or do some QC to label shit. But me being a rapper, yeah, that shit done for, man. I see where the money at now. The education put me in that position. Yeah, being a rapper is pawn shit, man. Like, do other shit. And as you can see, Jay-Z and everybody else prime examples of that, man. Like, music is a piece of the pie, man. That shit is crumbs, man. The way streams working and shit, that shit crumbs.
It's ridiculous. They're getting murdered. These rappers are getting raped, dog. And it's crazy. Like you said, Jay-Z makes, like, they broke down how much he makes percentage wise from music and a title and this and that, and a very small percentage was from actual music sales.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is Jay-Z we're talking about.
Jay-Z. So imagine, like you said, imagine the King Von.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man.
So
yeah,
crazy.
Well, shit. Something we and I want to wrap it up and then give you a chance to promote anything you want. Before I ask you the last question about real estate, I want to chat about real estate for a few minutes. But before that, all these versus battles going on has been one of the good things that's been part of this pandemic. Probably my favorite thing. The E40 Too Short battle was my all-time favorite versus.
Loved it.
Loved it. Smoked 2 joints during the thing. Drank. It was a great thing. I loved it. But let me ask you, man, who would Mark Savage like to see do a versus?
Man, you want to know what's crazy? They already did it.
Who that?
Gucci and Jeezy.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned Gucci and Jeezy last time, so you were big fans growing up.
Yeah, because you remember I told you they were a huge They were our death row situation.
Mm-hmm.
You remember I told you Gucci was the reason a lot of people started banging blood back in the day. You know, and he had a lot of influence, and everybody know Jeezy was a Crip, you know, at the time. And he had a lot of influence on a lot of people wanting to be Crips. And when they were beefing back then, that was like Death Row and, you know, Mob Piru and the South Sides and, you know, Puffy and Biggie, man. Like, that's what we seen back then. And then when Gucci caught that murder, I'm telling you, it was like blood just swarm out of nowhere. Like, oh, yeah, man, this the way, man. Crips weak as hell. He killed Pookie Loke. And I was looking forward to that because, like I said, I looked at that like that was like my Biggie and Tupac right there because that's who I grew up, and that beef was so major down south. Like, it was a lot of people got killed behind that on the streets. Like I said, people only hear about Pookie Loke, but man, it was Bloods got killed on the streets behind that. It was a lot of Crips got killed. A lot of people went to jail behind that. Like, it was a lot of shit with that. So, yeah, I really wanted to see that battle. I thought the battle was bogus because I felt like Jeezy got, you know, I felt like the battle was more so for Gucci to kind of, you know, let out his emotions about Jeezy sending people to come snatch his chain and hurt him and stuff. And I feel like he just used that as, you know, an outlet just to talk shit to Jeezy the whole time. But Jeezy was really wanting to come there to actually do a versus battle. So, you know, I didn't like the way the battle played out personally, but I think it was dope that they ended it on the note they did. But the battle itself, you know, going through, I was like, oh, this is trash. As soon as he started off, he dissing. I said, oh, Gucci, come on, man. You know, but I understand the type of shit that went behind it, so that's why it was so deep. But I'm just glad they was able to stay in one room and nobody got hurt, nobody got killed. So
yeah. I think it's good for hip hop, and but when he dropped that Pookie line, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be over. I'm like, I don't know who else is in that building, you know. And
how many guns are in that mother?
Yeah, you know, and you had dissing somebody who was a legit Crip, who was legitly killed by you, and you just like, I'm like, man, that's going to get ugly, man. So, but luckily it didn't.
Yeah,
so.
Thankfully. Yeah, that's interesting. So you already got your dream versus. That's dope, man.
Yeah, I wanted to see that one. Yeah,
that's dope. Well, I like to always wrap it up kind of on a positive note and at least try to teach something to people out there. And one thing we briefly touched on in our last interview was the fact that you are heavily involved in real estate. Now,
yes, sir.
To anyone listening right now, because we hear real estate, we get scared. You know, 10 years ago, I was so scared of real estate. Now that I own my own home, I'm going on my second home now. It's like, and I see how equity and shit works. I'm like, oh my God, I wish I would have did this. Wish I would have did this when I was your age. I'm 42. But what are some of the common misconceptions, you know, out there, you know, about owning real estate, and maybe you can ease some of the fears for people out there who want to do it but just don't know how, don't think they have enough money.
Gotcha, absolutely. Yeah, I think the three biggest ones out here, the first one would be like you said, I don't have enough money. And you don't need much money. I think I touched it a little bit last time we were on the show. I talked about the REIT, the Real Estate Investment Trust. So I touched on that. That's that you don't have to have $100,000 capital. You know, you can have a couple hundred and put them in the REITs and start seeing dividends back and put money into that. And you can, over time, man, you could be getting back some serious dividends annually, which is yearly, or you can be getting them back monthly, quarterly, however you set it up. But you could be getting back dividends off your real estate that you put in the REITs. You know, I think that's the biggest misconception is I need a bunch of money. Like, that's a lie. You don't need that much. You just need a couple hundred, you know, and it could be $200. You could put that into a REIT, you know, and you could run it up off that. And I think the second misconception is a lot of people think that, oh, I got to have a real estate license or I got to be certified. You don't have to have none of that shit. Like, if you literally, like, for example, my first home I renovated, it was a duplex. That duplex, I got it for $35,000. I renovated it for $80,000. So off back, when I fixed it up and it was renovated, it was ready to sell, I gave it to an agent who has his real estate and he's certified. I gave it to him, and he gets his percentage off for the back end once the duplex was sold. We sold that property for $310,000. He gets his 10%. The rest of it was profit for me. And then you see, I kicked out
Do the math, kids.
Yeah, you do the math on that. Yeah, you know what I mean? I got that back in profit. So that's just to tell you, that's the renovation, that's the developer's aspect of real estate. That you can master that. But, that's once you get some money, And then the third thing I think the misconception is we hear a lot of is when people speak on, oh, man, I want to go and I want to buy me a home, and when I buy the home, I'm going to get a term for 30, 40 years paying a mortgage of like $2,000. I'm like, dude, why you going to do that? And they like, oh man, because bro, that's what they told me we supposed to do. I'm like, okay, so let's hypothetically speaking. I said, let's say you pass away, and I said, your kids gonna inherit that debt that you got with that house. Are they gonna be able to maintain the house, or they gonna have to sell it?
Bam.
And you like, dang,
bam,
that's right, man.
Which
what should I do?
On a side note, Lee is one of the big reasons for gentrification, but that's a whole other story for a whole other day.
Exactly. We can get, that's a whole other topic. But like you say, that's a huge misconception because everybody think, oh, I want to go get this mortgage and I'm going to get this loan for 30 plus years or however long it's going to take you to pay that. And then, like I said, let's say you don't make it that long, or let's say y'all can't maintain that. Then what? You don't own that house. So you can't pass that down, none of that. You passing down debt. So I tell people all the time, man, the best way to go is start off with some land, build on that land, build it up, get your shit together, take your time with it, rent out whatever you're in an apartment, rent that apartment out, start from the bottom, build that house on that land, pay people, get that shit done, pay it back. Don't get no fucking mortgage loan, man. Buy land, get you some land first. Buy the land, get the acres, build on that fucking land, man. Make sure you can build on it. First of all, make sure you get the test done, all that, make sure you get shit in order. If you can build on that land, build on the land, get the shit done. The cheaper way, pay off the people you got to pay off, get it built. That's your home. Don't go and get no fucking mortgage loan for 50 years, 40. That shit is crazy when people be doing that, because I think that's the ideology people be having. Like, I'm going to pay this fucking house off in 40, 50 years, and you already in your 30s or 40s. So it's like, bro, how you know you going to live to see that long? Like, we would love to, but how you know that's going to happen? So it's just be like, man, you're not doing it with putting your kids in debt, because now your kids ain't going to be able to afford that. So that house is going right back to the city or whoever, and nobody got that house no more. So I think those three right there, the biggest shits I run into, man, those is crazy.
I love that, man. Thank you so much for sharing that, dog. And if I may, I always drop this when I get gems on my show. I always try to give back. And if I may, if you're not already doing this, and if you even have time to do it, I could see it now, a YouTube channel of you, like CRlP real estate dude or something like that, and you just give. I'm just obviously joking, but I really see the way you just broke that down right now. That right there is a YouTube show right there. Throw that on YouTube. It's a 10-minute clip, and you will probably teach so many people. And not only that, it will bring attention to you and get your YouTube up and things like that. But I think you need to start throwing some of that content out there, man, because you're an intelligent dude and you have a story. You know what I'm saying? You have a backstory. You didn't come with the silver spoon in your mouth. You ain't this dude who his dad had a bunch of money and gave him some. You started from scratch, dog, and here you are right now. You know what I'm saying? Doing your thing at 28 with the masters, owning real estate, owning businesses and things like that. So I'm gonna just throw that out there, man. Hopefully one day I'll see a Mark Savage real estate advice show or something like that. Do you want to give any promotion of anything you got going on right now?
Yeah, most definitely, man. Let me run these four by y'all, man. Everybody who listening, man. One, y'all can check out my Instagram at CEO Mark Savage. That's all spelled right, man. I just dropped Genius. Genius just put up my song "Goes On" their site. I just posted that today. I just had, since last time I spoke on Dusty on the radio on the show. I've been on Fox, CBS. Man, y'all can check out my interviews. It's on my Instagram, man. Y'all can look them up. A bunch of different shit, man. Y'all can run through Goes On. Y'all can download that, Apple Music, iTunes, all that good shit, man. Go get that Goes On. That's my leading single into this EP. The EP gonna drop next month in February. It's gonna be 6 fire-ass songs for people. I'm gonna drop a couple visuals off there to the ones that everybody like, or I might just drop all 6 visuals. Second, man, my real estate, man, DirtCapitalGroup.com. Y'all can go check us out. Hit me up if you need anything. I got a full-blown team for real estate needs. You can email me if you more so want to do it professionally. That's Mark at DirtCapitalGroup.com. Third thing, my clothing brand, man. Bag Chasers LLC. Follow us on Instagram at Bag Talk University. You can go get clothes. at bagtalkapparel.myshopify.com. And then the last thing, man, follow my YouTube because I'm gonna start doing some YouTube gems, man, dropping some talks on there, man. My YouTube, youtube.com/firstclassOCE, or you can just look up CEO Mark Savage on YouTube, man, and I'll pop up. Subscribe to me. I'm gonna start dropping gems.